Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our unusual by the content webinar, where we're going to be talking a little bit more on so many different subjects in one heavily packed webinar. Today, we're going to be talking about the digitalization of oilfield operations using RigER as the main system, and specifically, we'll feature details of what RigER as latest release is made of and what it offers to you as our existing or future client. And we'll talk a little bit about everything, so to speak, because it's more of an overview. More webinars will be dedicated to some specific topics or some specific features and modules, but this will be more of an overview for everyone who wants to know how RigER manages information in this digital era, helping oilfield service and rental companies. So today's agenda. First, we'll talk actually about the main idea that stands behind RigER, and it is been defined as a roadmap into the digitalization of the oilfield services. We'll talk a little bit about what actually RigER is designed for. We know that there's a lot of solutions that are software solutions that are in the market these days. Everybody's a little different, so we'll talk about what the purpose and the benefits of RigER is specifically. We'll also go over the items of how it works and how it's been designed and what it's been designed to do. And we'll talk specifically then about some latest modules that have been added to the system. And we will also have a chance to do a bit of a Q&A. So, as I promised, today's presenters are presented on this slide. From the left to the right, first is myself, Nikolai Korniuk, VP of Business Development and Sales here at RigER. So the next one will be Michael Maltsev, our President and CEO. Then a few topics will be covered by our VP of Operations, Gleb Kobitz. And Product Manager, Arsen Artunan, will be closing and honing in on some very specific topics related to the mobile part of RigER. So let's dive right in. So I wanted to open up this presentation focusing on some of the key things that relate to us as a product company and a solutions company for the oilfield service companies that are operating in the oil patch. So how software these days is being designed and changed throughout the years is very important. And we wanted to make sure that our existing clients as well as our future clients understand who they're working with and as far as the product goes and what we're focusing on. We understand that the systems have to change significantly year over year simply because of a number of changing demands. And some of the key ones we wanted to list here so that you would know and understand why we're changing things and what actually it entails. So the design of the system is always heavily depends on your operations, and our key primary goal is just to make sure that the system actually designed to fit your specific needs. But at the same time, we understand that the compliance requirements, the integrations of other systems are changing and new ones getting added. Internal efficiencies are an important part of why system changes. And internal efficiencies and operations of some of our clients are an important aspect which guides sometimes how we need to adjust and change the systems. We also make sure that the design of our software and the solution is not specifically focused on one aspect, but provides value to everybody who's using it. And more investors and higher level managers are using the systems to control the operations on a daily basis through a number of transparency and accountability tools provided in the system. So that's what also drives sometimes and oftentimes adds value to the system. We also focus on the security and the technology as another driver and aspect of what changes the demand in the changes in the systems. So what is the oilfield roadmap? And throughout our years of operations, we have consulted with a lot of our clients and worked with a lot of industry partners of ours and identified a number of different levels through which organizations go through and then on their path to the digital, to the operational excellence. So basically everyone we know that it's been a few years back, everybody starts with a spreadsheet or even before that starts with a paper ticket and a whiteboard. And that's how many operations start, especially in the oilfield service and rentals business quite often. And then the challenge usually gets presented when the information becomes overwhelming and there's no more whiteboards, and then the companies and operations managers are trying to look for other solutions. That's where the gradual transition from one stage to another one starts to happen. And it's important to understand that you have to go through some of the stages. Depends on how much time you may spend on each of the stage, but you usually have to go through each of them. And we as a company and as a system provider and a solution provider help to move from one to another one at whatever pace you select to do. But an important part to remember here is that your operations management system is your competitive advantage, and it has to have some attributes to it to make sure that it keeps being that advantage and follows and helps you throughout your organizational evolution. So from the basic system to the advanced digitalization environment, you can get in a few years, and we're here to help you along the way. So what is the purpose of RigER? So we've identified that the map of how you change your processes and apply and use the technologies that is available is very important. And again, it all is driven by the main purpose. And the main purpose of our existence, if you will, from day one, is just to make accessible the system, the IT technologies and the system to everybody who is in the market. So we understand that people want to make that transition depending on where they are in the roadmap flow. However, not everybody can make that change. So we are here to help, not only by an advice, if you will, but more by looking at how you do the business and building and organizing the system that helps you to grow into the digital enterprise that is a paperless, that is flexible enough and customizable and scalable enough to make sure that as you're moving forward towards your business goals, there is a system that can help you to achieve that goal. So some of the benefits that we've identified when we are working with the people are listed on this slide. I don't want to go through each and every one of them one by one. You can read. However, what is the most important for us to explain to all of you who are with us today and listening to how we can help you is that this list is not exhaustive, and it starts with this simple thing that through a system like RigER, you're able to collect all the necessary information on your operations, and then at the same time go through changes in your processes, and then benefit from so many different attributes that the refined processes can bring to your team. So you not only track the every asset, you track the every parameter, you understand the cost structure, and you gain more and more value out of the system as soon as you start using it. It becomes your second nature, and then it becomes your coach and your partner in the process of your business development and business growth and operations. So you can reap all these and more extensive benefits when you work with the systems like RigER. So from purpose to how it works. And so here again, some of you who've been to our webinars before or to have seen the demos of the presentations may have seen this diagram. And here I just wanted to only highlight that RigER is a comprehensive system that allows to automate as well as organize different processes and different functions in organization. And in this simple cycle, we wanted to show you that it involves everyone from the sales to the operations management, with all the different functions and responsibilities, through the dispatching function and the field technician to accounting department. So everybody touches the system as well as gain the benefit and information out of it in the end, and then starts communicating better between each other because everybody knows what their role is, and then see how that system allows them to better share and understand where they're headed towards. So on that note, I wanted to pass the microphone to Michael, who's going to dive deeper into the RigER as a system.
Thank you, Nikolai. Hello, everyone. And let's move forward and talk about what we prepared for today. So we will talk about RigER 7.5 Phoenix modules and features, talking about our new and latest release of RigER. And this release, we named Phoenix to support our industry, to support and respond to that turbulence which we faced those days. And We hope that this name will help us to move forward and help our clients to move forward as well. So the entire system right now become more and more complex, more and more advanced, and we add more and more modules and features every day. So right now you see that the entire map of our modules becoming advanced. So you can see yellow modules, which will be our standard modules, red modules, which will be extension of those red, and an optional modules will be gray, and black modules will be equipment, rental fleet, maintenance, inspections, and repairs. So let's see what we have in each particular module and what is the step-by-step process for each module. So traditionally we can start from purchases, and purchases right now become a very important thing because you need to control all your spendings. PO approval, mobile PO requests, rental units purchases, services, consumables, expense claims, chargeback, purchase dashboard. So all sales tax, all those things become more and more important nowadays. So in general purchases, initially it was purchase order and bill of lading and purchase invoice. Right now we added the purchase request, which can be done from the mobile application. Then we have digital PO approval and three-way control, talking about line by line control, purchase bill of lading and purchase invoice, and of course the integration with accounting systems. Definitely each module has lots of reports and dashboards which help our users to control the situation. Another extension of the purchase module is a subrental operations. Subrental operations, when you re-rent your vendor equipment to your client. So in this case, we have traditional rental operations, and we add subrental transactions to this operation. So you can see subrental agreement and subrental tickets in, out. And there are lots of different approaches to the subrental operations, kind of standby fee, or subrental fee as a percentage of the rental fee. We add a very detailed subrental analysis, and the system supports short-term and long-term subrentals. It means that if you required some part of equipment for this particular job, and after this job it will be returned to vendor, we consider this as a short-term rentals. If you have and treat equipment as your own fleet, but the owner of this equipment is a different organization, so we consider this as a long-term subrentals. Another thing and another application of the purchase module is the rework or third-party repairs. So in this case, you need to build the purchase order and send parts to your vendor, then take them out from the vendor, and then check everything and have the purchase invoice. So the rework module was added recently to RigER, and you can control the all the transactions of regarding the rework in the rework dashboard. And definitely purchase invoice will connect it with accounting system as well. So I'd like to pass the mic to Gleb. He will show us some operations modules.
Thank you very much, Nikolai and Michael, for this introduction and good presentation. My name is Gleb Kobets. I'm VP of Operations here in RigER, and I'm going to show you the main oilfield operations modules and explain them in details. So we have, as you already we have a number of modules that are included in the standard configuration of the RigER software, and it actually allows you to track equipment precisely, invoice your clients, and also to do the internal operations. So pretty much every single oilfield job starts with a sales stage, when the sales personnel can create a new rental service agreement, which is treated also as a quote by our most of our customers. And in this rental service agreement, you specify the main lists of equipment and services that are going to be provided to the customers. And the pricing is applied automatically by the system based on the price lists and different documents that we also have in the price module of RigER. So every single quote and rental service agreement goes through the client approval and management approval stages, which are required to process the job. And also on top of that, you may use the reservation module in RigER, which allows you to reserve a particular asset numbers for the job for a specific client to use in the job. And then once the job is approved and ready to go, we are able to generate our rental tickets and field tickets in order to move the equipment to the client's locations in the software, and also to provide and track all the services and employees' time. Definitely a number of sales reports are available for your disposal to analyze your sales operations. Also, we have a multi-level price structure in the system, so you can apply different kind of prices to different clients or even clients divisions. So on that slide you see that we have three major levels of pricing, which are the RSA or job pricing, where you can set the prices for a particular job regardless of the standard pricing, which is the level number 3. You can assign a particular prices for a RSA or job. And also you can set a price agreements, which are specific client-specific price lists that are applied to every single job that this client will have with you. And also you can separate these prices by divisions or even sometimes by the regions where you operate. You have a number of features that are available in the advanced configurations. These features are discounts, so you can apply discounts either to services or to the particular pieces of equipment or to the whole job. You also may have a billable days, so you can tell the system what kind of days you're going to bill the client with, or what kind of billing cycle you may have. And the latest development is the dynamic discounts feature, which allows you to apply different discounts for the different period of time for the same job. So it adds up a more flexibility for your sales personnel to communicate the client's prices and just to have flexible pricing for every job. The second module, the next module is the reservation. And with this module, you are able to reserve units, as I already said. So you have a document which is called reservation note available at your disposal. So you can reserve particular asset numbers, keep them reserved in the system so nobody else will be able to dispatch these units. So they will be reserved for a particular location of a particular client. And then you can dispatch this equipment using the rental reservations. Or in case if the job has been declined, you can unreserve these units and use for another client job. So you also have a reservation report, which gives you a picture of what have been reserved and what's the history of the reservations. And another addition is the backups, when you can you can tell the system what kind of unit may be replaced with another unit if something has been broken during the period of job, or you just need to have some kind of real backup for different matters. So backup node is the document that you will use for this purpose. Now we come to the more complex flow chart, which explains actually the whole field operations workflow. And as already said, you see on the left-hand side, the rental service agreement is the starting point of every single job in the RigER system. And then you use either reserves or just generate a rental ticket, dispatch the equipment to the location, the rental period starts, and your rental charges are being calculated from the starting point. In the rental ticket, we have multiple types of tickets with a different purpose. With the purpose of deliver the equipment or pick it up from the client's location, deliver back to the shop, or you just wanted to provide the services, so you will use rental ticket service type. And if you have maintenance of your equipment at the location, you'll be using the maintenance tickets. Whenever you return the equipment back, and depending on the condition of the equipment, sometimes it happens that the equipment is damaged. So you can generate a sales ticket right away in this job and include these sales charges or sales prices of the equipment to your final rental invoice. So everything included in one job and controlled within one rental service agreement. And a field ticket, again, allows you to provide services, accumulate employees' time, and combine everything in the final rental invoice. And everything can be done in the mobile application of RigER as well. So your field personnel can perform these kind of activities in their mobile applications. As the final and one of the final stages of every single job is the invoicing. And RigER has robust system in terms of the generating invoices. So whenever you have a number of tickets, either it's a rental ticket or field ticket, you also may have a sales tickets under one job. You also may have a repair cards, which will have some charges to the client in terms of the labor or spare parts used in the repair of the units. And everything will be again combined in the final invoice. To add a little bit more complexity, you also may have a batch drilling invoicing when you invoice a particular period of time for different wells under one job. We also may have a rental breaks when for some reasons the job is stopped and you don't charge the client for this break. So you also generating a rental break, and invoice will automatically takes these days into account and will not invoice them to the client. So there are multiple features as like billing days or billing cycles in the invoicing module. We have 5 algorithms of invoice generation, and also we may have a credit memos to provide a customer with some credit. And everything for sure is integrated with a QuickBooks system, so you can send your invoices generated by the RigER software into QuickBooks application seamlessly by clicking just one button. According to our extended operations, and since we may have not only clients' jobs or some kind of supportive operations, we call this internal operations module, where we have a number of documents like intercompany transfer. You can move equipment between your different yards or warehouses. You can also dispose items if the equipment is obsolete or it's been totally damaged. So you can dispose items and mark them as disposed, so it will be not used in the jobs. You can combine different components and build assembly list in order to track more complex units and build the client with the assembly unit. You may also track your employees' time and jobs in the internal job tickets. You may generate defective units list in order to bring your equipment to the repair shop and keep these units in the not available status. Or you can build a bill of materials when you take your consumables or you take your some kind of supplies and generate a new unit from different components. Everything is captured and pulled up to the reports and dashboards, And also we have different dimensions to analyze your activities, like line of business, or you can analyze revenue or rental units utilization in the departments, by departments. And definitely everything is broken down by individual items and by regions.
So yeah, let's continue with the other very important modules, which we call RIMI, so repairs, inspections, and maintenance. And the equipment repairs is a very simple module where we can build a repair card based out of repair template and the condition of the unit when we return the unit from the job. So a pickup ticket will automatically generate the repair card, and in the repair dashboard, we can see all the repair cards and check the status or even close those repair cards. It's very important that or you can see those repairs, and we see that some of our clients, they even put those repair dashboards to the big screen to the repair facilities, and the field technician, actually field techs, just to check the box and close the repair card when they finish the repair of the unit. And definitely we have lots of repair reports which will show us number of consumables and parts used for the repairs, and all the performance of the invoicing of the repairs as well. Next thing is the equipment inspections. It's one advanced module where we can build a business process of the inspection, and based out of the inspection template and the trigger document, we can build the inspection register. So the trigger event could be movement of the equipment, it could be return from the field, it could be pre-delivery or pre-job inspection. So lots of different situation when you require to inspect the unit. It could be even after the inspection, after the repair inspection, which we call quality control, and which will assess the readiness to the next job. And the good thing about inspection template that you can build your own template by yourself. So it looks like a checklist which the user can set up by themselves. And definitely you can see all the inspections in the inspection dashboard and inspection reports. The equipment maintenance, it's very important nowadays. And talking about maintenance, we mostly talking about predictive maintenance and set up a particular triggers. It could be number of hours, it could be mileage, it could be number of jobs, or even time, monthly or days. And that trigger will send a notification to the maintenance dashboard, where the service manager will see, okay, this is a list of units which we need to maintain this month, and we generate maintenance register and maintenance cards for each single unit, depending on where they located. It could be in a field, it could be in the yard. So, and after the maintenance, we can see again everything in maintenance reports and dashboards. The next thing, the recent addition to our system, is the job costing module, where we can set up the direct cost structure and collect all the information about the direct cost and revenue, and compare these job per job, and understand the profitability of each particular job. And you can see this in a job dashboard, job profit dashboard, and job costing reports. We doubled the number of reports in the system and quadruple number of dashboards in the system. And right now, it's a very useful tool for all our clients. Moreover, they not only generate reports in RigER, but use email reporting tools as well. So let's continue, and Gleb will tell us about other modules.
Okay, let's move on to the next slide. And another very useful module in the RigER is the HR module, which allows you to track all your employees' qualifications, skills. You can also perform hiring or firing your employees. So it means that you'll maintain your lists according to your current situation in the organization. You may set up a different payroll rates depending on the line of business or department that your employee is working on. And also, you can set up a sales commissions for the sales personnel. So the system will automatically calculate the sales commission amounts based on the sales performance and sales rates. You can also track the vacations of employees and keep the calendar up to date to the availability of the workforce. Again, everything is collected in the payroll reports and the dashboard, which brings you the essential data about your employees' payroll amounts, and you can transfer this information into the QuickBooks system and use these data for the further processing of the payroll taxes. The safety module allows you to track the and generate the different documents in terms of the safety measures. So that accommodates the job safety analysis, near miss report, vehicle inspection, and so on. So these documents can be generated in the mobile application as well, and allows you to keep up with the safety compliance measures. The next module, which is just recently developed and deployed to some of the clients' databases, is the service calls. So the service call module, the main purpose of this feature and the whole module is to track and capture all the clients' requests for some kind of movement of the equipment, or just maybe there is a some kind of problem at the location. So your field employees, your sales employees can enter a new service call for the dispatchers or operation team and communicate all the information inside of the software. So the next responsible person on this service call will receive a notification and can perform some actions, meaning generate a new delivery ticket, or generate a service ticket, or even generate a new rental service agreement for the client and add the necessary services and equipment. Everything is easily tracked and managed on the dashboards, and you can also analyze the service call trends in the reports. We are developing the mobile service call application, so you will be able to capture this information in the mobile application as well. RigER is integrated with a third-party software. Definitely nowadays it's very important to exchange the information seamlessly and not to lose a piece of information. So we have built a number of integrations. The most advanced integration is with the QuickBooks system. We also can export data from RigER software to Excel. We can send emails about the jobs and tickets through the Outlook application. And definitely we'll have integration with the modern electronic billing software like Oildex or Cortex, and a number of newest integrations are built as well with the Power BI and Microsoft Dynamics Business Central.
All right, let me continue and talk about the mobile applications. And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Arsen here. Now, we understand that going mobile is a very major part, plays a very major part in the success of any kind of a business nowadays. So we follow the trend and we offer many different solutions in the mobile field, and we have different applications that can suit the needs of the oil field and meet the purpose of the scopes in the operations. So the first application I would like to talk about is the mobile oil field sales application, which is intended for the field sales personnel, and it allows the salesperson to create a quote, to create a rental agreement, and present the client with a quote right in the field without the hassle of creating a paper contract, etc. So the application focuses on around one document, which is the rental service agreement, and it will allow to print a quote. It will allow to email the quote. We can attach different photos and even the signed quote of the client as a photo to the rental service agreement and synchronize it with the cloud. It can allow the sales personnel to add new clients, add new locations, RSAs, etc. And it can also sync with the contacts in your phone. So this application will allow you to, the sales application will allow you to perform the sales operations of your business. Now let's move on and talk about the field operations, which is mainly intended for the field technicians who work in a field, and which allows the field technicians to synchronize the information in a fast manner with the database. So this app focuses around four main different documents, which are the rental tickets, the rental and field tickets, the safety documents, the internal job tickets, and the inspection cards. Well, in this application, the field technician will be able to open up his own field tickets or rental tickets and follow the instructions and perform the needed jobs. He can also create safety documents such as vehicle inspections, JSH, job safety analysis, hot work permits, near misses or incidents reports. And he will be able to also work on inspection cards and do internal job tickets. We also have reports in this application that focus around the list of the rental tickets, field tickets, and the rental units. So let's move on to the next slide and talk about the third mobile application, which is the mobile purchases. The main focus of this application is to provide the field personnel with the ability to request a quote or, request a purchase order, or to see all the purchase orders that have been requested or are available in the mobile application. So the person in the field will be able to request a purchase order. Then the purchase order would need to be approved by the appropriate management personnel, and then the action can continue from there. So in this application, the application itself is very simple, and the two roles that have access to these applications are the purchase order requester, which is the person in the field, and the purchase manager, who is going to be approving the purchase order requests.
So here, the easiest way to get a hold of us is actually to log on to the website or call. You know, we do take calls, indeed, and then we can schedule a conversation and show you RigER in detail in some of its aspects that you've just seen in more detail. Than less. So it's all driven by you. So let us know what you'd like to see, and we can schedule that meeting and actually show you a lot of the internal sort of setup of how the system can work for you. So we're here to help. So on that note, since I don't see any more questions, I wanted to thank cordially everyone for attending today's webinar. Again, it was heavily packed with information, but I hope it was enough to digest and consume. We are here to help. Reach out to us, and we'll be able to provide any additional advice, consultation, comment, or an answer to any question. Okay?
Thank you so much, and see you next time.
Thank you, guys.